You wake up, and before you even say hello to your family or look at the sunlight, you reach for it. That first cup of coffee, it's your ritual, your lifeline, and your primary source of fake energy. You've been told for years that black coffee is a freebie, that it has 0 calories, speeds up your metabolism, and is the perfect companion for intermittent fasting. You're doing everything right. You've cut the sugar, you've ditched the processed creamers, and you're waiting for the weight to drop. But instead, you look in the mirror and see that your midsection is as stubborn as ever. No matter how many miles you run or how many salads you eat, that area under your ribs feels tight, heavy, and unyielding. I am here to tell you that for a woman over 35, that innocent cup of black coffee on an empty stomach is often the primary reason you are stuck in a fat storage loop. It is what I call the coffee spike lie. Even without a single grain of sugar, your morning caffeine is triggering a hormonal cascade that tells your body to hoard fat, specifically around your organs. Today, we are going to expose the hidden biology of the morning caffeine spike. I'm going to show you why coffee is actually a liquid stressor, how it triggers a phantom insulin response, and the exact 4-phase metabolic anchor protocol to keep your coffee but lose the basketball belly. Before we go any further, I want you to perform the diagnostic check that defines our community's health. Stand up right now and press your hand flat against your midsection, right between your ribs and your belly button. Does that area feel like a soft, yielding pillow? Or does it feel tense, resistant, and firm, like you're pressing against a basketball? If you have the basketball belly and you're a morning coffee drinker, you are likely experiencing metabolic stickiness. Your morning ritual is pushing your body into survival mode before you even leave the house. Reach up and check your scalp too. If it feels like a tight helmet scalp, your nervous system is already redlining, and that coffee is just the gasoline on the fire. Here is the biology of the caffeine betrayal. When you wake up, your body goes through something called the cortisol awakening response, CAR. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone, and nature designed it to peak about 30 minutes after you wake up to give you the get up and go you need to face the day. It is a natural, beautiful rhythm. But when you pour a high dose of caffeine into an empty stomach during this natural peak, you aren't just waking up. You are triggering a physiological triple threat. First, the caffeine forces an even higher spike in cortisol. Your adrenal glands, already working to wake you up, are suddenly whipped into a frenzy. Second, high cortisol sends an emergency signal to your liver. Your liver thinks you are in a fight or flight situation, perhaps being hunted by a predator. To save you, the liver dumps its stored glucose into your bloodstream so your muscles have fuel to run. Third, and this is the part the diet industry misses, your pancreas sees this sudden surge of blood sugar and releases insulin to mop it up. Even though you didn't eat sugar, your body is now flooded with insulin. Because insulin is your primary fat storage hormone, it immediately locks your fat cells and starts storing that emergency sugar right where it's easiest, in the visceral space around your liver and heart. You are effectively eating a phantom sugary donut every time you drink black coffee on an empty stomach. For women in perimenopause and menopause, this is a disaster. As our estrogen drops, we lose the metabolic shield that helps us manage cortisol. Our bodies become significantly more sensitive to stress signals. According to recent metabolic research, women over 40 who consume caffeine before food have a 30% higher insulin response to their next meal than those who eat first. This is the definition of metabolic stickiness. You are priming your body to store your lunch as fat before you even take the first bite. You aren't revving your metabolism, you are rusting it. We don't have to give up coffee, but we must change the signal. We need to move from stress induction to metabolic flow. Here is your 4-phase protocol to unstick your morning. Phase 1, the living water preload. For the next 14 days, the very first thing that touches your lips in the morning cannot be coffee. It must be 16 ounces of living water. As we discussed in our hydration video, Plain water is dead water that passes right through you. I want you to add a mineral spark, a pinch of high-quality sea salt, and a squeeze of fresh lemon. This mineral's first approach hydrates your cells at a deep level and tells your adrenal glands that the drought is over. This simple act of mineralizing your body first thing in the morning lowers your baseline cortisol by nearly 15%, providing a safety buffer for the caffeine that's coming later. Phase 2. The protein anchor. This is the non-negotiable rule. No coffee until you have provided a protein buffer for your liver. Before your first sip of caffeine, you must consume at least 15 to 20 grams of protein and a small amount of healthy fat. This could be 2 hard-boiled eggs, a scoop of clean collagen in a small amount of water, or a handful of raw walnuts. Why? Because when protein and fat are present in the stomach, they signal to the liver that there is no emergency. It prevents the liver dump of glucose, which in turn prevents the insulin spike. You are essentially anchoring your hormones so the caffeine can provide focus without triggering fat storage. You are turning your coffee from a stressor into a tool. Phase 3. The 90-minute caffeine delay. I want you to wait at least 60 to 90 minutes after waking before you have your first cup of coffee. I know this sounds impossible, but listen to the biology. By waiting 90 minutes, you are allowing your natural cortisol awakening response to peak and begin its natural descent. When you layer caffeine onto a descending cortisol curve, you get a steady, clean energy boost without the jittery insulin spike. You'll find that the 3 p.m. crash you've been struggling with for years simply disappears when you stop overstimulating your system first thing in the morning. Phase 4. The circulation reset. After you've had your anchored coffee, I want you to perform 20 to 30 minutes of Zone 2 movement. This doesn't have to be a grueling gym session. A brisk walk where you can still hold a conversation is perfect. This movement acts like a vacuum for any circulating glucose that might have been released. It improves your insulin sensitivity and tells your body, we are in a burn state, not a storage state. This is how you physically soften the basketball belly. You are using the caffeine-induced energy to actually fuel your muscles rather than fuel your visceral fat. How do you know if it's working? You'll feel it in the energy of your day. Within the first 7 days of the protein anchor and the 90-minute delay, you will notice that your morning hunger becomes stable rather than urgent. You won't have that hangry feeling by 11 a.m. But the real proof is in the press test. Every Sunday morning, press into your midsection. As your baseline insulin drops and your cortisol stabilizes, that basketball will begin to feel more like a pillow. This softness is the sound of your liver finally being able to exhale and burn fat again. Please remember, caffeine is a powerful drug. For some people, especially those with advanced adrenal fatigue or specific genetic markers like the CYP1A2 gene, even an anchored cup of coffee might be too much. If you have chronic anxiety, severe insomnia, or your helmet scalp is so tight it's causing headaches, you might need to transition to green tea or decaf for a period of adrenal repair. Maut. As always, if you have a medical condition like heart arrhythmias, high blood pressure, or are pregnant, consult your healthcare provider before changing your caffeine habits. This protocol is about biological optimization, not medical prescription. You don't have to choose between your morning joy and your metabolic health. You just have to stop lying to your body. Give your system the water it needs, the protein it craves, and the time it requires to wake up naturally. Tell me in the comments, are you a coffee first thing person? And when you did the belly press just now, was it a basketball or a pillow? I'm here to help you troubleshoot your morning routine so it finally starts working for you instead of against you. If this video helped you understand why your healthy black coffee might be the reason for your stubborn belly fat, hit the like button and subscribe. In our next video, we're going to talk about the muscle waste crisis and why your daily cardio might be making you skinny fat after 40. Stop the spike. Anchor the flow. I'll see you in the next video.